Alright, so here I am again in my kitchen. It's almost lunchtime and I'm going to make myself a drink here. Now just a little disclaimer at the beginning. There's a dog next door and it keeps barking. I don't know if it's a he or she, so for right now it's an it. And it just keeps barking. I don't know why, but so if you hear it in the background, sorry. I was going to get mad at the dog, but then I remembered that it was a dog and dogs bark. And then I realized that it would be stupid to get mad at a dog for being a dog. Kind of like, it brings up something I'll get into before I actually make this drink, is getting mad at people for being what is in their own nature. So if a person is, I don't know, naturally controlling or something, for example, you know that they're controlling, you label them as such. They've consistently demonstrated that behavior from the first day you met them until now. So what most people do in that situation is get mad at them for that and always be complaining and arguing and just always be mad at them for being basically who they are, for being what's naturally coming out of them. Now to say, oh, they're controlling, that's a bad thing, maybe not. You know, some people are well suited for certain positions, so let's say they need, like, they're a high managerial position, so they need to be kind of a control freak. Or let's say someone's like overly judgmental, and you judge them for being judgmental, for example. Let's say they need to be like a really high up decision maker, or they have to be able to analyze a lot of information and make a judgment and decision really quick. So obviously they're being judgmental or controlling has very good properties in certain situations. Other situations, not so much. But that's a different conversation. Of course, context is always important. But it's silly for me, or for all of us, for everyone, to get mad at someone or something for being its nature. Like for me, it's winter. It would be stupid for me to go outside and be mad because it's cold, or complain because it's cold. Or go out in the summer and be like, oh, I can't believe it's hot, this sucks. It's like, really? It's summer. I mean, what do you expect? So, that's just something I wanted to bring up while we're doing this. But anyways, that's another adjunct to that is not necessarily like making people change, but just learning how to redirect energy. So if someone's controlling or judgmental and you're aware of that and you actually accept it and quit resisting it, you can learn how to channel that and redirect it and use it in ways that are useful. But read the Tao Te Ching if you really want to know that. That's all I'm going to say. So anyways, here we go with this drink. My tea is about 30 ounces of astragalus and atractylodes tea. Those are both chi tonics, both spleen tonics, warming and tonifying to the digestion and the metabolic functions. And slightly yang, slightly warming, good at promoting the upright chi and opening up the lungs and all that exciting stuff. Now, I really like the chi tonics right now, so that's why I'm making that tea. It tastes pretty good too. Secondly, like a quarter cup of chia seeds, maybe closer to a half cup, I don't know, I didn't measure, I just dumped it in. Those have been soaked. Tablespoon of honey and a tablespoon of coconut oil. That's my base usually. Sometimes I use like raw butter in my drinks. Maybe that sounds weird to you, maybe it doesn't. I think it's kind of good. Try it out if you're open to it. So first thing I'm going to add is probably a teaspoon of ginger powder, which ginger, one of my favorite herbs. Warming, great for digestion, great for putting in drinks. It tastes good, and it's good for you. That's all you need to know. Secondly is maca, and I'm probably going to do a lot of maca because I read some work by this dude called Dr. William Wong, and he's recommending people eat like 3 to 6 tablespoons of maca per day. And I'd always just done like an even tablespoon. Whoops, you didn't see that. An even tablespoon of maca per day. And he's saying you don't need to eat like 3 to 6 to really notice it. So that's what I've been doing. I've been doing like 3 or 4 tablespoons a day. And I haven't really noticed too much yet, but we'll see. It's only been a couple days. But it's cool. From what I've read, maca is like really good for, balancing the hormones, blocking bad things, uptaking good things. You can check out his work if you really want to know about it. He's kind of paranoid in my opinion. He has some good points, but he complains a lot, which is interesting. He's like, I listened to an MP3, he spent an hour talking about how feminized we are and how messed up our hormones are, and his only recommendation was don't eat soy or flax and take maca. It's like, really, dude? You're gonna yell and complain for an hour and that's all you got? I don't know, it's just my opinion. Anyways, so, and then I have some cacao powder here. Well, of course, I should have opened this before because probably not gonna work on camera. It's real cool that you can watch me cut this open with scissors. So yeah, maca, or a couple of tablespoons of maca, probably closer to 3 or 4. And then cacao powder. Some consider it controversial, some consider it a health food, but I'm going to use like 2 heaping. See that? 2 heaping tablespoons. Because I really like cacao. It's one of my favorite foods, and I like stimulation from time to time. Next up is colostrum, which is one of my favorite foods of all time. And it's powerful, but since I went through like half of my jar really quickly, I'm cutting back to just like 2 tablespoons a day. But I've noticed some really good things with the colostrum, like my gums seem to be like growing back down, because I still have one tooth where the gum line is kind of eroded a little bit, because I had braces for a couple years and it just took all my gums and like pushed them up, and it was like really irritating. So I've been trying to recoup from that ever since. But I've noticed that since taking the colostrum. And next up, I'm going to add like a half a teaspoon of hushubu powder, which is from Hyperion Herbs. Hushubu has a lot of zinc in it. It's good for the hormones, good for the endocrine system, good for the reproductive functions and the jing functions in the body. And next herb will be sustanche, which I'm not sure why I have it in 2 bags. Doesn't really make any sense. But I need to get a bag soon. And this one is also from Hyperion Herbs. And this tones up the yang jing, whereas hushubu was on the yin, this is on the yang. So you can look at it like yin is what makes you lay down and want to go to sleep and stay asleep and rest deeply. Yang is what makes you want to get up and pop up out of bed and get going for the day. So, you know, I have cordyceps over here, I have reishi, I have mucuna, I have morinda, I have eleuthero, and I have reishi shilajit enormous too, but I don't know that I'm going to use, yeah, I'll use some morinda, why not? It's another yang jing herb. I'm going to go ahead and just, I'm going to go for cordyceps. How about that? I'm going to just use cordyceps because it's yin and yang jing as well as qi. So it nourishes the kidneys and the lungs. I'll probably use a half teaspoon because my bag's kind of running out. I need to get more. This is also from Hyperion Herbs. So sustanche, cordyceps, hushubu are all from Hyperion Herbs. That's where I get mine. It's the same products I've been using pretty much every day for the last 3 years. I source them myself. I use them. I love them, obviously. And I take, off camera, I take massive quantities, but I wouldn't want to ever encourage you to do that, so I just keep it safe here. So I'm going to check my time. It's 8.5 minutes that I have left on camera, so that's the drink here. You know, lots of other stuff I could add in. You know, I got some wild reishi tincture here that I made myself from reishi mushroom that I've harvested. And I have this guy here, which is a reishi mushroom that I found myself. Last summer I found about 30, 40, or 50 of these. Not all of them were usable, and this is the last that I have left. But it's almost April, it's almost May, it's almost June. It's almost time for reishi season, and I'm excited about that. So let's see, what other tinctures do I have? I have some Schizandra goji tincture that I just pressed the other day, and I'll let you see that because it's really good. And then I have some Romania tincture. Wait, that's not Romania. I have, okay, here's Schizandra goji that I pressed the other day. It's really thick and syrupy and tasty. Schizandra is probably one of my favorite herbs of all time. So I could add all of that stuff if I wanted to, but I won't, because I want to keep this sort of simple. I don't want to get too crazy with it. Might add some other stuff later, maybe some eggs, I don't know, I'm hungry. So that's my drink. If you want to see me blend it up, we'll do it. Blend it up, here we go. So now my drink is done. blend it up, and now I'm going to taste it. We'll see. And sometimes I do actually use a cup, but most times, if it's just for me, I just drink it straight from the blender. I mean, why dirty a cup, really? So that's it. It's delicious. It's smoky and earthy from the tea that's underneath it. Sweet and delicious from everything else. So there it is. Delicious.